Hi, Rebecca. Oh, my two faithful people, Lori and Rebecca. So, because you're the first ones here, yeah, well, that's okay. I was about 4 minutes late, so, but I got my IKEA order. Oh, I'm so excited. It came and he was here probably less than 10 minutes. It's all on a pallet. And I thought he was going to have to unload everything individually, but it's all on a pallet. So anyway, hi, Amy. Did you hear? I got my studio stuff from IKEA. So Holly and I are going to put it together this weekend and hopefully get my room all set up. I'll share pictures. I'm so excited. Hardly can stand it. Thank you, Rebecca. So we better get going because I know that I don't want to keep you too long. And this is going to be just maybe a little bit longer than usual. So this card is called the double, let's see, what did I do? Double rectangle, double, I don't know. It's in the Deal Be Fun. Yeah, I know. The boys are not going to be able to help me. So it's Holly and I. Yeah, it's really exciting. So anyway, we ordered it July 8th. And it just now came August 27th. So that's, you know, I've been waiting and, you know, anyway, I was patient. I really was. So you'll find the name of this down in the bottom. I'm sorry, I can't remember. I'm too excited. But I wanted to share this with you. I think this is a gorgeous card. It looks very complicated. But it really isn't, because if I can do it, you can do it. So anyway, so this is the card, and like I said, I don't remember the name. It's below in the other, when I placed it, I told you the name, but I can't remember it today. My brain is gone, obviously. So I'm going to use the Charming Day stamp set and dies. This is the Charming Day, and then I'm going to be using the dies that go with it and the Floral Charm Designer Series paper. Oh, well, I hope she gets it figured out. Hi, Diane, whenever you get here. So I'll give you the measurements real quick and then I'll start because I'm going to show you how to cut it too. So we have a piece of, hi, Diane, you made it. Oh, that's great. So we have a piece of basic white paper, not thick. I always use thick for my cards, but this one is better with just the basic white because it's a little bit thinner and easier to work with. So we have a piece that is 10 1/8 by 4 1/4. And then for the side pieces here, you will see the side pieces, that and that. I have a piece of Night of Navy that is 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. And then I have a piece of the Floral Charm Designer Series paper, 3 5/8 by 3 5/8. And I will cut those while we're doing this so that you can see. And then for the front piece, well, first of all, we have two side pieces. So these are right here, and they're cut 2 pieces, 4 inches by 1 inch. And then for the front, we have 3 pieces, Berry Burst, which is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. Yeah, you're right. And Night of Navy, 3 inches by 3 inches. And then Basic White, 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. And I've already done the flower, so this will go on this piece and then I'll stamp on it. So that's it for the measurements. I am going to show you, so I'm going to cut, maybe I'll do that first. Well, no. I'm going to cut this piece right in half at 4 1/4. And then I'm going to score it at 4 3/4. So each piece will be scored at 4 3/4. And what is happening is we're going to put these together like this. And then I'm going to score from here to here and from here to here. And those will go backwards and then it will come together like this. So these pieces will then come together on the front. Isn't that cool? I think it's so cool. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the Basic White. And again, I'm just using Basic White, not the thick. Hi Beth, thanks you for joining. I had some exciting news. I was a little bit late because my IKEA order came for my studio. So I'm very, very excited about that. So I'm gonna cut this, I'm gonna cut this in half, not score it. And then I'm gonna score both pieces at 4 3/4. So 4 3/4. I'm gonna score, I'm gonna score at 4 3/4 each piece. So that's 4 3/4. And this one is 4 3/4. And then I'm going to measure. So I'm going to measure for the left side, I'm going to be measuring. So here's the left side, and this is the 4 3/4. So this is the 4 3/4 piece, and it's scored here. And I'm going to measure at the top. So I'll turn it around and measure at 4 1/4. So I'm just gonna make a little tick mark there. So 4 1/4. So I'm gonna move that over. Can you see that? Let's put it up a little bit more. So this is 4 1/4 right here. 4 1/4. And I have a pencil and I'm gonna make just a tiny little mark right there. And then on this piece, so this is this piece. And so on the next piece, put that over there so I don't get confused. I'm gonna turn this around, and it's going to be measured on the bottom at 4 1/4. So I'm doing 4 1/4 again on the bottom. The other one was on the top, and this is on the bottom. So now I've got those two marked, and now I'm going to score diagonally to the corner. So I'm going to put the corner right there, and then my little tick mark right there. And again, I'm scoring. And then on this piece, I'm going to score again. Let me look at my diagram. So I just make sure I get this right. So I'm going to score from here down to here. So this is the tick mark up here, and then I have the corner in the gully. So now I've got all my score lines, and I'm going to just fold this with my fingers for now, and then this one is going to go backwards. So it's like that, and then this will fit in here. So that will go in there. And so I'm gonna do that with my fingers, and I will make those, and then this one will be cut. And so then when you have it, I'm gonna put them together and adhere them down. And then when you cut, then you come up with the base of the card. Hi, Gwen. Good to see you on here. Thank you for joining. I was a little late today because I had some exciting news. My studio, which I've never had a studio, I've always had just a bedroom, but in our new home I have a studio, and my studio products from IKEA came just as I was starting. So anyway, that's okay. So that's the way this works, and then it will open up. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add adhesive to this left side. And then we are going to put these two together. So this one will fit right in here. And make sure that's well sealed. So now we've got that. So before I go any further, I'm going to burnish my score lines really well. This is one of the tricks of having this card. Lay flat, and it is hard, and that's why I didn't use the thick on the card base, because we do have two thicknesses in the center, which will help. Okay, that's that side. And then this side, I'm going to score, burnish, not score, on the score lines. And I'm going to do both sides. And then we're going to bring this out. God, I caught you. Thank you. This is really a fun card, and it's not hard. Probably the biggest challenge is getting this right. But I'll have all the directions so you can do it, and you can come back and watch the video. So there is and they're scored really well, burnished really well. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the corner pieces on. So I'm going to do both of these corner pieces. So the first thing I have to do is cut them on the diagonal, and I wanted to do that to show you. So I'm going to cut them on the diagonal. So I have one for each corner, and then the floral charm. Again, I'm going to cut that on the diagonal too. And this is paper that is not especially, it's not directional, so you don't really have to worry about it. I did do a couple of samples that are directional, and I will show you those and show you how to do that. So the first thing we're going to do is put on our Night of Navy pieces on our card bases. So this one will go here, and then we'll put the floral charm over that. So we'll get some adhesive on it, and I'm just using seal. There. And then the other piece is right here. So I'm going to put this one right here. And this is going to go right here. And then we're going to do the other side, and it will go on the underside, the bottom, where you, so this one goes right here. I know, I've never had one. It's just been a bedroom. I did have two nice closets, but it was about 10 by 12. And I outgrew that a long time ago. So I really, it's not a big studio. Well, it's 15 by 16, but I'm going to have all of everything in there, and it's going to be so cool. Okay, so this one goes here. Okay, so now we have our corner pieces. Isn't that cool? Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we have two pieces of 4 by 1, the floral design. And so I'm going to use the back of this because it matches good. It's a Night of Navy back. And these are going to go right along this edge. So it doesn't have a white, and it really brings it all together. And then we'll do the other one. And this will go on this side. And I'll show you how that looks once I get them on. I love this. I think it's so pretty. Such a gorgeous card. Okay, so now we have see how that just finishes that off. It just kind of brings the theme right through. So the next thing we're going to do, this is the front part. This is the focal point right here. And so I'm going to adhere the Night of Navy to the Berry Burst. I ran out of. I'll have to run and get some. Wouldn't you know it? Too excited, I guess. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to stamp, and I'm stamping, I'm using the Charming Day stamp set, and I'm going to stamp Thanks for Being You. And I'm going to use Night of Navy for that. So this goes right up here. Oh, that needs to be re-inked. And of course, I don't know where my inkers are. And then I'm going to put my flower right here. Now, I did this different than the other one. The other one I used Berry Burst and Shaded Spruce, but I thought I would do this one different. And this is Pretty in Pink, Berry Burst around the edges, and these are the pins I use, and Granny Apple Green for the leaves. So I'm actually gonna put that up on with some dimensionals. Just kind of pop it up. And of course, that one is determined it's not going to come off, but I convinced it. So this is going to go right here, and I'm going to run and get some adhesive. Obviously, here I'll just use this. I've got this right here. So I'm going to use this, and this will go on the front here. And now this will go on the front of the card right here. But before I put that on, I'm going to stamp inside. So in the center, I put the flower, and then there's plenty of places to write. So I put this flower. So I'm going to stamp that flower in Memento. And that will go right here. And then I'm going to use my Pretty in Pink, and oops, I honestly don't use the brush end very often. I actually use because I have more control of it. So but you know, it's up to you. And I'm just going to color those leaves, those petals in Pretty in Pink, and then I'll go around them a little bit with the Berry Burst. And then the leaves will be Granny Apple Green. Kind of a softer color than the ones I used before. Just really, really, really lightly go around. And then I'll do the center in the Berry Burst. I kind of like that. And I could blend those together, but I'm not going to take the time to do that. I think that just outlines it real well. And then we'll just do the leaves real quick. Again, I open the wrong end. Let's get this right. So I'm going to do the leaves in Granny Apple Green. And you know, you can outline the leaves and go over the outline like twice, or the center part like twice, and give it more dimension. I might do that just for fun. That doesn't show up too much, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. But it gives it just a little bit of a, there. Okay, now we're going to put the front piece on, and then we're done. And I will show you the other ones I made. I always have to make a few extras, you know. It's good for me because it gives me practice. So this will go on here, and I'm actually going to use some dimensionals. Just put 3 dimensionals here, like that. I just don't want it to go over, so I'm very careful getting them fairly close to where it needs to be. Okay, so then this will go right, and the points are going right in where they come together. There. It's done. Now, that wasn't hard, was it? It's really easy. Yes, you're right. It is a statement card, and you could do so much with it. You could even make a wedding card and use gold designer series paper. You know, these would really be perfect for any occasion. Just change up the sentiments and you've got it. So that's that, and I'm going to put these ink pads away because I know me. They're liable to. I'm going to show you the other ones I made. So this one is using the Floral Blooms designer series paper, and then this is from got a blank. But I used Lost Lagoon. This paper is Lost Lagoon, so I used Lost Lagoon and seafoam for the leaves and the centers. And I think it turned out really pretty. And it's a birthday card. That's one. And here's another birthday card. This is using the Wildflower Birthday Designer Series paper, which was carried over into the new catalog. So I used some of the die cuts that come with that paper and put some balloons in, and then a cupcake on the front. And then this one is the pear, the Perfectly Pear, and the paper is Painterly Pear paper. And this has become one of my favorites. I love it. I just am so in. Thank you, Diane. The one thing about this, I really truly was not going to buy this set. I have to stop somewhere. But then I started seeing all these beautiful cards made with it. So I got it, and I love it. And there it is. Thank you card. I need lots of thank you cards. And then one last one. This is Adventure Begins. And I think this is so cute. I'm going to save this for my daughter-in-law for next year because she loves to camp. And so I use Let the Adventure Begin, and then I put Happy Campers, because they have 5 children and they take them out camping every weekend that they possibly can. They just love the outdoors. So there are my 4 editions. And then the original one. So if you would like to take a screenshot, you can. And I will have all the measurements below, but also on my blog. I will have all the measurements and everything on my blog, and then there will be a link, or the video will be there too, so you can watch it again. So I hope you enjoyed that. It's such an interesting card, and yet I thought, boy, I don't know if I can do that. But really, it's not hard at all. The main thing is to make sure that you get the base right. And hopefully that the way I showed you will help you do that. And so these papers, I will scan these or take pictures of them or something and put them on my blog so that you will have these, because this really does make the difference. You just put those together, and so I will make sure you have those too. As a thank you, Yvonne. You'll have to come back and look. This is a beautiful card. I'll show you the one we did. Thank you, Beth. Here's the one we did. What a fun card. And then here are all the samples too. So, but you have to know, Yvonne, I got my IKEA stuff from my studio today. So I'm a little bit rattled because I'm so excited. They are beautiful cards, and you'll want to watch it sometime in the future so you can see it all. So, but thank you everyone for joining. I really, really appreciate it. And if someone shares, I will choose one person to receive this card that we made today. So please share. Thank you. Have a great day.